What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Just got finished on the live stream. I know it sucks. We're a week away from the season being over. We got a long time before we actually see games again, unless you're going to be into the USFL, and we're definitely going to check that out. But fear not, because shit is already happening in the NFL. One, Dan Snyder and the Washington football team are being investigated. Oh, Washington football. Jeez, I can't get it right. The Washington Commanders away. I keep calling them football team now. It was so hard for me to call them football team from Redskins. Now I finally got used to calling them football team, and now I got to say Washington Commanders away. But Dan Snyder, they're going to have an open investigation on him, and they're going to put the findings out when it's done. And that may be the end of Dan Snyder owning the Washington football team. Just putting it out there. Remember, you're going to come back to me later on and say, Mark Holmes, you were right about that shit. You were right about that shit. Anyway, we are less than a month away from free agency being rocking and rolling. Well less than a month. Because on the 14th of March, and remember, this is a short month, there's only 28 days. On the 14th of March, legal tampering begins with talking to free agents. Franchise tagging is this week. You understand that, right? Coming up, Tuesday. I believe it's Tuesday. You'll be able to franchise tag players. That window opens up next week. We might franchise tag Blake Jarwin for all we know. That would be $11 million. Wow. But you have to figure out who you're going to keep and who you're going to let go and how you're going to have money on the cap. The Steelers have gone through and they have already renounced contracts for Ben Roethlisberger. No surprise, he's retiring. Eric Ebron and Juju Smith-Schuster. These guys are now going to be free agents. Make a deal with anybody. And it's kind of interesting that Juju kind of talked to Dak there and like, yeah, I'd love to come to Dallas. You know, we're still dealing with those old-ass lockers here in Pittsburgh. I don't know if Juju will become a Dallas Cowboy or not. But I tell you, I keep thinking about Jason Garrett when some of the press conference that we heard would always be, that's not the way we do things around here. Well, brother, I got to tell you, the way we've been doing things around here for the last 26 years hasn't led us to shit. It may be time to think differently. Because when you have the mentality of, that's the way we do things around here, generally speaking, it's the beginning of the end of whatever it is you're doing. Because you must constantly evolve, reinvent, and do something different, because I've said this a million freaking times. You may be successful right now doing what you're doing, but that's going to be short-lived. A lot of companies out there that thought, we're going to be here forever. It's the way we do things. Blockbuster. Earl's Video, Xerox. Those companies, we're good. We're a big company. We know what we're doing. See, the difference is you had Border Books. You had Amazon selling books online. Amazon said, we're going to evolve what we're doing. And that's why Amazon is probably the biggest company in the world. And Border Books, not so much. You have to be willing to take chances and try some. Not everything's going to work. But if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And herein lies the problem with the Cowboys. Stephen Jones, well, we like our own free agents because we know what they do. We're going to go bottom basin shopping. Because, see, the problem is scared money don't make money. You must evolve. You must adapt to changing environments and business structures. And the Dallas Cowboys are stuck in the frickin' 90s. The way we do things around here. You know what New England would always do, even after winning a Super Bowl? Bill Belichick would rotate and get rid of 30% of the roster. Shake things up. Bring in some new blood to the team. I can't remember the player, but he had a Pro Bowl guard that he traded to the Miami Dolphins during training camp. He wasn't scared. He looked at it and said, I've got a guy behind there that can play probably just as good. I can get something of value for him. He's gone. You want a new contract? We're going to trade your ass to Cleveland so we can get some draft picks. Constantly turning over the roster. We, on the other hand, we get scared that somebody might go to another team and come back to haunt us. Boo! I'm scared. We had people literally saying, oh, we can't cut Juju Smith. He's going to come back and haunt us. And even after he got cut, we had people, oh, we should re-sign Juju Smith. Oh, come on. My God. Listen. You want the truth? The reality is you cannot fall in love with the football players being on your team. You can't. And this is sad. It's cold. It's heartless. But it's a cold business, and you have to understand there's a window when I've got somebody that is worth a value that I can use to get something else in value in return and not have to pay them a whole lot of money. Let them make the money elsewhere, because when you do that, when you pay these big contracts, unfortunately, to aging players, guys that have 5 years of power of playing on them, the reality is they're not going to be getting better. Very rarely. They're going to be slower, older, and beat up. And now you're paying premium money for something a young guy is doing for like 10% of the money. We keep looking and say, we can't live without this guy. We can't live without that guy. We can't live without Juju Smith. Well, we did, didn't we? 2014. We had lost DeMarcus Ware, cornerstone piece. We lost Jason Hatcher, 11 sacks. We lost Sean Lee to a knee injury. With a 30-second defense they were. We lost those guys, and they joked us and said, yeah, hey, you ain't going to be able to compete against a high school team. But yet, that team was second in taking the football away the next year without those guys. That team was instrumental in us going 12-4 and getting close to the NFC Championship, a catch no catch away. The Cowboys have to get out of this same shit of doing things the same way, expecting a different result, because we're not going to get a different result with them doing the same shit. Scared money don't make money. Sorry if that's not cheerful enough, but that's the reality. And I hope that they actually think about this and say, you know what? We have some really good pieces. Maybe we should try and push all the chips in for once and take a chance. I'm Mark Holmes, and I'll see you soon. God willing, of course. Have a good night, y'all.